Hey Carlos, I thought I'd do another video because I'm having problems with your code. So here's what I did. I took that sample data that you gave me and I put it in CSV because I'm going to try and use that as the input. And I put all of your code in place in the NuPIC geospatial application. So as you can see, pre-processed data has been changed with your changes. There's the conversion file, and there's the anomaly decay KML file, and the geospatial anomaly has also been changed. So I'm going to run this the way you had run it, calling Python maritime anomalies.py with that sample CSV file that you sent me. And it's not going to work, but I want to get to something before that. So as you can see, it started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sequences. If you look at the data, should I close some of these? If you look at the data, there's each one of these lines is its own ship. You said you were manually resetting sequences in between each ship, but you know there's 21 ships here. And there's only 5 sequence resets, so that looked like something was wrong. So I went into geospatial anomaly, where we're actually, this is what's reading in the data path, reading the data out of the file, okay? And here's where you're printing starting new sequence. So there's definitely 5 times during that, the 21, it's starting a new sequence. So what's happening is it's not respecting your manual sequence resets because that depends on the track name. It's doing an auto sequence reset, which is the default. If you look at the marine anomalies file, the manual sequence is default to false, which means it will automatically break it into time gaps. So what you need to do is add this -m to it, and then you should get 21 resets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, but there's only 14. Okay. And if you look, this pre-processed data thing over here, this is the actual data that gets created. And I don't know if you're removing some of these points but before the data gets into NuPIC, some of these points are getting removed. One thing I'm going to do to try and prove something here is something I notice is that this file is not chronological. If you look, you know, this is 1720, 1718, 1719, 1716. So these are not in chronological order. I don't know how they're being ordered, but it's not chronological. So that's a problem. And also there's 21 ships here. Each line is its own individual ship. So I can't really test the concept that this data must be grouped into different ships' tracks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ship and I don't make like every other one that ship. So we're going to end up having 2 ships, not 21. And then I'll take this ship and make every other one that one. So what we should end up with in this pre-processed data file is only 2 of these MMSIs when I run it. And it found 2 ships. That's good. See, 2. And there we go. So the pre-processed data has data for 1 ship. And this should be in chronological order, but it's not. So this has to be in chronological order. So that's one problem here, is these timestamps should be ascending, and they're not. So you will have to sort these by time. And the other thing is, I believe that this last number here is what denotes a reset. I think so. New sequence, right? Yeah, that's what we're writing. And every single one of them is saying this is a new sequence. So somehow this is resetting every time. You only want to reset when the track name changes. So one problem is this must be chronological, and the other problem is, you know, the reset should only be the last one in the row. Or excuse me, it should be the first one. It should be the first one in the new track. The others should all be 0, because we don't want to reset on those. Okay. So that's my initial feedback: is you've got to feed them in chronologically by track, and each track needs to be separated. Every ship's track needs to be a different grouping, and each one inside the track needs to be chronological.